Welcome to the Miss Teen Caribbean UK podcast. This is episode 1 of the podcast, and this episode is brought to you by our partners at Red Lab London. Red Lab London is a communication and strategic group, and follow the new Instagram account at Red Lab London. If you would like to sponsor one of our episodes, contact us now at missteencaribbeanuk@gmail.com. We look forward to hearing from you. In this week's episode, we are discussing unfollowers and unsubscribers, and what does that mean to your brand, and should you take it personally? So one of the reasons why I wanted to raise this topic about unfollowers and unsubscribers is because we tend to find that most times the unfollowers and unsubscribers of your account is people you know. It's people that you absolutely know, and you're surprised to think that when you look into if you go into your analytics, you look into them, and you'll be surprised to know that it's people you know, people who you thought were supporting what you're doing, and had it not been for your inquisitive nature, you would have never found out that these people will unfollow and will unsubscribe, but will continue to watch the work that you're doing. So it's important for us as a brand to have some insight on who are our unfollowers and who are our unsubscribers. And it's not because we want to take it personally. So I'm already giving you the answer to the question. And the answer is no, don't take it personally, but it's definitely worth knowing, because when you go into trying to find out who your unfollowers and your unsubscribers are, you never go into it thinking it's somebody you know. You always go into it thinking, I wonder who and why. And the reason you want to know who and why is so you could probably change a few things to improve what you're doing. So oftentimes when there's a unsubscribe button, it tells you or asks you to state your reason why you want to unsubscribe from the mailing account or from YouTube or whatever. And usually, maybe not from Instagram, and usually it gives you the option to tell us why you want to unsubscribe from something. So the point I'm trying to make is, when you go into this, you never think it's someone you know. You never think that. I never thought that. No one does. You tend to think it's some brand that you probably, or somebody who probably had a displeasure working with you, or somebody who didn't get a result that they were after, that potentially wanted to unsubscribe or unfollow. So when you do find out that it's probably a friend, a family, or a close follower, or a close person that you thought they were interested in the brand, it comes as a blow, and it is easy to take it personally, but try not to, because at the end of the day, they must be affected by whatever they're seeing, and they matter. Whatever that's affecting them to unsubscribe and unfollow, it would be nice to know what their reasons are, but you never get to know that, because it tends to be when the person who unfollows or unsubscribes from your account, they tend to never, if it's somebody you know, they never truly leave a reason. Never truly leave a reason. They want to quietly leave without you knowing that they've left. But then on the outside, they pretend to continue to support your brand. So it's important that as you grow your brand, to know who your unfollowers and your unsubscribers are, because then you can start to try and engage new target audiences. Because if you continue to just work on the people who you think are interested, think you love your brand, you think that they love you and what you're doing, well, love is a very strong word, but you think that they're interested in what you're doing and what you've got going on, they might not be that interested. They might not be that keen, and they might be the one that is affecting your growth. Because when you think, oh, they're gonna share a post for you or spread the word for you because they seemed so genuine, they just might not. They just might not. So for the topic, one of the reasons we wanted to start off episode 1 with unfollowers and unsubscribers is it's a common thing. It's a common thing to wonder why you're losing followers, why you're losing subscribers, why is your brand not growing, and the people who you are marketing your brand at seemed at one point so enthusiastic about being a part of the brand, knowing the brand, looking into what the brand's got going on. But when you do pay that extra for analytics, which is analytics is a game changer. When you do, well, it's not a secret, but it's a game changer. When you start to look into your back end office and you think to yourself, who are these people that are unfollowing? Are these people that we are not following back? Are these people that we did a disservice to? You'll find that it's not. It's people who know you. Some of them might be your friends. Some of them might be close associates. Some of them might be family members. Some of them might even have participated in your brand before. And for some reason, they understand the importance of a follow and the importance of a subscription, and they will still unfollow and unsubscribe. So that's that's our episode 1. And I felt that with our podcast, it's very important that we're transparent in how we go about things and what we do. We have a few episodes lined up, and most of the episodes will talk about growth and building your confidence and all these good things. I think in episode 2, we talk about staying focused on your vision. And even that, when it comes to unfollowers and unsubscribers, it's really important to stay focused. And we'll really get into that topic because staying focused on your vision will require some specific tools. And I have some tools to share with you guys on how I stay focused, and tools that you could use to try and help you stay focused on your vision, no matter what distractions are around you, because unfollowers and unsubscribers are distractions. They're definitely distractions because it can lower your morale, and especially when you find out it's somebody who's been around your brand before. It's not anybody new. It's not anyone who's never seen or heard of you. It's somebody who knows you, and that can be a distraction. So one of the key tools, which we will talk about in episode, I think staying focused on your vision is in episode 2, so not far from now. I just want to give you some tools, and these are tools that can be used, can be replicated if you're building your brand, if you're at university, if you're amongst friends and family that are not keen on what your progress is about, not keen on what you're trying to do. These tools allows you to kind of develop some level of a thick skin. And having a thick skin is really important. But what is equally important is that you don't morph into somebody who you wouldn't like to be around. So don't develop a level of fakery. I say fakery because we all know the type. But yeah, so we have our mailing list. We have our IG profiles at Miss Teen Caribbean UK, at Teen Caribbean UK, our partners at Red Lab London. These are some of the accounts. Oh, and also our store at Shop Teen Caribbean UK, all on IG. And it's important when we have a look at why the brand has unfollowers and why we have unsubscribers on our YouTube pages, and we're putting out positive content. We're putting out content that promotes some level of happiness. We're releasing that dopamine. We're saying, hey guys, why don't we champion somebody else that's doing okay? And that can potentially inspire you to do what you want to do. But I guess sometimes it's interpreted as showing off, or maybe interpreted another way. But it's important to know who your unfollowers and your unsubscribers are. Very important. And that way you will, but don't get too hooked on it, because you can get really, really hooked on knowing who these people are. But once you have an insight, roughly knowing who your unfollowers and unsubscribers could potentially be, and you develop the thick skin of, I'm not going to let it bother me, I'm not going to let it distract me, then you're on your way. And I feel like you'll be surprised, and like I said in a few minutes ago, it's most likely somebody who knows you, who you know, or is affiliated with you somehow. There's a percentage, I don't know, maybe an 80% chance that is somebody you know. And the other 20% was probably someone who spammed. But I just wanted to get through this podcast and bring you out our first episode, which is unfollowers and unsubscribers. And it's just distractions. People are not going to want to continue with you if they don't feel their needs are being met with your brand. And that's also something important to know. So making sure that you meet the needs of your own brand for your own self is very important. Making sure you meet the needs of your consumers is very important, but you cannot let it distract you, because there's billions of people around the world, and you just have to tap into those billions. So I wanted to always keep our first few episodes of the podcast quite concise. And so one of the things that I wanted to do was to not go on and on about everything. So we just wanted to, kickstart our first episode. And we're grateful to our partners at Red Lab. So do check them out. Follow them on IG. You can't stress it enough. And if you become an unfollower of an unsubscriber, it's okay. We'll get over it. And it's important to, if you're finding displeasure in somebody's brand, maybe let them know, because a critique is a critique, and it takes more guts to say how you feel about something than to just, diminish it away. So the moral of the story for today, guys, is unfollowers and unsubscribers are distractions. Try not to be distracted from these things, because ultimately you don't know them personally, so don't take it personal. And I just want to end it there with our first episode. If you do like our episode, let me know. If you want me to expand on how I find out who our unfollowers and unsubscribers are, let me know. I would love to share that with you. Some of the apps that we use, some of the software that we use. Let me know if you want me to go into detail about that, and into detail about how you recover from knowing it's a friend, family, close associate that was contributing to you not growing how you want to grow, because ultimately it does affect how you grow. Because if you are thinking that these unfollowers, unsubscribers, maybe you thought they were sharing a post for you. You thought, you're guaranteed to know that this person will share something for you, that person will share something for you. And then to find out that they did in fact unsubscribe from your page a few months ago. They actually don't know what's going on. They pop in and out of your page because you did not make it private, and they liked one and two things, so it looks as if they're still following you. That's comical, very comical, but it happens a lot. When we look at our list of the people who recently unfollowed or has been unfollowing us, and they still like our pages, like our posts, make comments, it's quite interesting to see how these people can keep up that facade. Because we will say to them, have you seen this? We posted it recently. And they will say, yes, we support your brand. We love it. But they won't follow your brand. They won't truly support it, which is a follow, a like, a share, a save. And they themselves will feel a bit, affected by if you were to return that same level of what's the right word? The same level of deceit. I don't know. Maybe it's not deceit's the wrong word. It sounds a bit intense. But don't be distracted by unfollowers and unsubscribers. Continue to work within yourself, develop a thick skin, and definitely download an app or pay an extra fee to find out, or tick that box that allows you to know who unsubscribed and who unfollowed, because it's important to know, and it will allow you to, it will be part of your developing your thick skin earlier on in the process of your brand, because ultimately as your brand grows, you will find that business partners and deals that you thought were going to happen, they will withdraw. And because you've already developed thick skin, knowing that if your close friend or somebody you thought loved the brand didn't in fact like it, and they blatantly just came on to see what you were doing, by the time you get further into your brand, you'll have a thick skin. And actually, that's what happened with our brand. In the early stages, we used to beg every person, mother, child, daughter, cousin, friend of a friend of a friend, aunties, co-workers, people who we knew and we worked closely with, and beg them, follow us, please subscribe, please listen, please share it with your friend, here's a link, send it around. You go into work, because most times you're building a brand, you still have your job, and we can touch on that too, because in episode number 4 we talk about if you should start a business or apply for a job, and what are the pros and cons for both, and which one should you choose, especially in this type of climate. Which option is better? Start a business or apply for a job? But we'll talk about that in episode 4, and we'll give you some definite business startup and for free. This is a free podcast. Well, I don't know. We'll put it on a platform, and I'm sure it will head out for free. But we'll give tips and special know-hows on if you're going to start a business, what you need, and if you're going to apply for a job, what you need, and what are the pros and cons. What are the interview tips? How this is a secret. I've never not had a job that I applied for. That is a fact. But then I'm selective with applying for jobs. I've probably applied for maybe 3 jobs in my entire life. But and so back to the topic, which is unfollowers and unsubscribers. I was just saying that you beg everyone around you when you first start your business to follow you and to subscribe to your channel, and you plead with them, and you're happy when you see them like it. You're happy when you see the subscription go up. You get a happy dance when you see that your aunt actually followed you, or your cousin followed you, or your friend followed you, and you get so happy. And then a few months down the line, people start unfollowing. You post something about a promotion or some good news, or you passed a test, a driving test, an exam test, or you won a title, or you did something that was good for you. You post it on your Instagram, you post it on your YouTube, your Facebook, whatever you're using, your Snapchat, WhatsApps, whatever. But well, you can't unfollow WhatsApps, and then your likes and your subscriptions and your unfollow goes down. And you investigate, why is it going down? What is happening? And then if you do what we say, which is to go into an app and find out who this are, you'd be surprised. It's somebody you knew, it's a cousin. You thought, oh no, why did she unsubscribe? Why did she unfollow? It's an aunt, it's a friend, it's a person who's no longer a friend. And it's very disheartening, because you think to yourself, if we had a disagreement and somebody goes as deep as going into your YouTube, into their Instagram, into their Facebook, and searched your name and decided to press an unlike or an unfollow, they know what they're doing. They've taken it to another level. And I guess a friendship like that cannot be resolved, because you can talk to somebody and have a disagreement with someone, and they can get on your nerves, and you can say to yourself, I don't like talking to this person anymore. But for them to go into an email, unsubscribe from your email list, unsubscribe from your YouTube, unsubscribe from your IG, that is a loud statement, but it's still a distraction. So don't get distracted by these things. Don't let it affect what you want to build, because ultimately those type of people will never truly purchase whatever you're trying to sell. They're not buying what you're selling in the literal and physical sense. An unfollower and an unsubscriber will never buy what you're selling. And I think that is important to know, That's a key word, key information to know, that your unfollower, and I'm just writing this down because it just came to me, and your unsubscriber will most likely not buy what you're selling. And that is physical and literally. So don't get upset about it, because they were never gonna buy what you're selling. They're never gonna buy it. Whether you're trying to get them to be a part of your life coaching series, whether you're getting them to shop at your boutique, whether you're getting them to subscribe to your channel because you're trying to hit that 1,000 followers. You really, really want that 1,000 subscription. They were never going to buy what you're selling. So leave them alone. Let them go. They're doing you a favor by unfollowing and unsubscribing. It is almost a favor that they're doing for you. They're doing you a service. They're letting you know that I'm not going to buy what you're selling, so stop marketing to me. And that's good. You want to know that. You don't want to spend your energies, your time marketing to somebody who's not buying what you're selling. So they're doing you a favor. It's better actually for them to unfollow and unsubscribe than to stay on your marketing list. And every time you promote something, you put it on IG, you put it on YouTube, you put it everywhere you can on all your socials, and they ignore it. They look over it, they glance over it, they get irritated. Oh, why is she sending me this? Or why criticizing? Then at least you know now that the person who unfollowed, you can now make space. Because sometimes these branding material do have like a cap list. If you're starting out, you normally start off on the basic plan, the free plan, and the free plan has a limited amount of people that can be hosted on your site. So if they're unfollowing you and you're unsubscribing, that's better for you. You can always make room for more. So I started off saying that, what does that mean for your brand? Should it take it personally? And I'm sure I've answered that question. I'm sure if I said to you, should you take it personally? You will give me the answer. And and the answer is no. Answer is no. Don't take it personally. And You want to ask yourself again, is that detrimental to my brand? Do I need to know? If you're unable to see it as a distraction, then maybe you shouldn't know, because you'll be distracted and it might affect your morale and you go in a downward spiral. But if you feel you've developed thick skin and you feel like you can go the mile and learn and know who it is and know that it could be a cousin, friend, auntie, brother, sister, and not be affected by it, it's important you know. But go into knowing with caution that it could be anybody. When you go into wanting to know, go in there prepared that it could be anyone. Don't go in there thinking, so when you prepare yourself for the worst, it's almost better. So don't go in there thinking, don't go in there thinking that, it's not anyone. Go in there thinking maybe it's someone I know, maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a colleague, maybe it's somebody at work who I spent an hour on break begging them to subscribe. I took their phone from them. I pressed subscribe myself. I pressed the notification bell myself. I begged them. I told them, I'm going to subscribe to your channel if you subscribe to mine. And a few months down the line, when you've forgotten about that colleague of yours or friend of yours, brother or whatever, you've forgotten about how much you begged them and, the length it took for you to get that one extra subscriber. And you never think it's them. You've forgotten about it. You thought it was a healthy exchange. You thought you did something for them. They did something for you. You're at work, so you probably did a few extra jobs for them because they subscribed to your page and it meant so much to you that you said to them, oh my God, I'll do the rest of this task for you, with you, because I'm so happy my subscription's going up. And then a few months down the line, it's going down again. You look into your analytics and is this the person who you spent hours convincing that they should subscribe to your brand? Just be prepared for stuff like that. And then again, it might not be. It could be just a spam person. But it's likely someone you know, because someone who you don't know won't get irritated about good news and stuff. That it's always somebody that's either developed knowing you through the social media and now they think they know you and they get irritated, or somebody who knows you personally. But as I come up to the half an hour, we're doing 30 minutes on these episodes for now. And we want to do an extended episode to an hour. When we get a guest, we want to cap it to an hour. But these 30-minute sessions, I think, is great. So as we come up to the end of episode 1, I just want to thank you all for listening. Make sure you like, subscribe, and follow our pages. And if you happen to unsubscribe, unlike, unfollow, it's okay. We won't take it personally. And but we do want to keep you on board. You can learn a thing or two. You can get to build your own morals, because on this channel we won't like, unfollow, and unsubscribe if we've already done so. It's too much effort. And unless your page is offensive, and I mean not because you're doing well we're offended, but it's, inciting hate or racism, violence, or anything like that, then there's no need to. I mean, sometimes you forget about that. So thank you guys for listening. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode 1 of Unfollowers and Unsubscribers, officially on all our streaming platforms. I hope you like it. Do give me your views and thoughts in any comment section that we have on any platform that you can find the comment section. And if you have any tips for us to improve, let us know. Feedbacks are always welcomed, as long as they're said with a tone of love. So thank you guys for listening. We hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll catch you on episode 2, where we will discuss That's right. Staying focused on your vision. And like I said, in that episode, we give you tools and tricks and tricks is such a strong word. We give you tools on how to, you know, help you stay focused on your vision, and just small tips, nothing that hasn't been done before. We want to love you and leave you here, and we thank you for listening. Goodbye. Mwah.